Storytelling run. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Curse of Strahd. This is my third video, and show you the map and how I'm trying to get a feel for this campaign, and so I've labeled everything on the map so that I can just, see the overall picture, the bird's eye view, or this is the satellite view of the Google Maps view of what's going on, who is is everyone, the terrain, the environment, what path they're probably going to take, what path am I going to lead them on. So this is the map, and there's some great YouTubers out there that do the basic rundown of the campaign, and then their little quips on it, and they're great. And I'll put a link to a couple that I was watching while I'm doodling and making my minis and maps. No Fun Allowed and Lunch Break Heroes. Those guys are awesome, and get it all together and then explain it all. So that's great. I hope I'm not shaking my camera. Okay, so what I'm doing is breaking it down now on the map so I can see it and start thinking about the players and where they're going to go. So I'm going to start them off. I'm going to have to, I'm going to railroad them in the beginning, obviously. And railroading to me is a great thing. It's not a negative thing at all to me. It's pulling heartstrings, going for, giving them a motivation. Now, obviously, they can go where they want, but I want to give them a motivation. Freak them out a little bit, trap them, create the conflict, and then the motivation. So anyway, I'm going to start off in a tavern. I love that cliche, that trope. I'm going to keep using it over and over. And then obviously, they're going to follow the Vistani, and then they're going to eventually come to the gates of Barovia. I'm not going to worry about that details right now. I'm just going to get to this map. So obviously they go through the gates of Barovia. I'm going to go through a quick run through and then maybe go into some detail. So they're obviously going to come through here. I'm going to give them a little adventure along the road, wolves or something, creepy, misty. And I have some maps drew up for that. I'd like to give them a marsh adventure, but that's probably going to be too much. So I don't want to get them too far off the path from the story. Then they're going to get to the village of Barovia. And I do like that Lunch Break Heroes did this. He said, have the death house, because I'm definitely going to do the death house. That's a fun one where, they go in, and obviously I'm assuming you're familiar with the writing. I'm probably going to do the death. I want to do the death house first because once they get into the village, the story is going to happen. So either you put the village or the death house near the beginning of the village, or like he suggested, on the road. But I'm going to put it in the village, I think, but I'm going to make it at the beginning, right when they come in and see his stuff. They're going to get these children, are going to lure them into the house. And I'm going to cry. I'm going to heartstrings. I'm going to pull it. And then they're going to get to the village of Barovia. So that's going to start the story, right? With Irina and her brother, her adopted brother, or she's the adopted one, Ismark, and then they're going to meet. And then they got to go bury him. So that's an interesting part of it. There's zombies in there. There's some ghouls, I think. There could be, they can encounter, what's his face, Strahd, and or his black carriage. The black carriage to me is a kind of a character. I think I'm going to make it like a character in a sense, moving around and following them and stuff in the distance. So there's all that stuff that's going on in the village of Barovia. Then there's the River Ivilis crossroads. Now over here, you can see is where the gallows is, and they see maybe there's some zombies there on the unburied graves. Anytime there's an unburied grave, I'm going to have to throw some zombies at them, at least at the lower level. But then there's the gallows, and they see the haunting. The one of the NPCs turns back and sees a dead, guy, but it's them. One of them sees that, and the others see just a dead adventurer or whatever. I'll probably make them adventurers, make them know that other adventurers have come here and have been killed, as opposed to like Barovian villagers. But I'm going to move that to the bridge. Because, like I said in my previous video, I'm going to make every bridge have something bad or creepy or good happen. Because there's all these bridges or crossroads or whatever they're called. So I'm going to have each one of them something interesting. Or, oh no, another bridge, another bridge. And obviously the Sarah's Falls Pass is pretty dramatic. Because, remember, this whole area right here And it's sad that this top-down view doesn't show it, but it's that classic cliffside, you know, with a narrow road right there, and then there's this cliff thing. You know, it's that classic kind of thing. So definitely gonna do some rolls on that. But that's what I think this part here should be. It's the arrows are kind of misleading. I feel like they should have really drew it better. But anyway, I'm going to make it very creepy. I want to change this map somehow. I might draw it. I really need to just quickly doodle this out because I really want that sense of, oh boy. So I got to go back a little bit. And here's the thing. Now that I'm looking at this map, I got to have my mindset. Is that if they get Irina and Ismark, and they got to take them all the way over here to Vallaki, right? So there's this huge journey past Ravenloft and past Strahd. And Strahd wants Irina, so this is pretty serious I'm going to assume, after the Death House, I'm going to assume they're around 3rd or 4th level. Third-ish. Probably 4th, because they'll be fighting stuff. And I'm using XP, personally. I guess it's old school or whatever, but I get people like junkies addicted to XP at the end of each session. How much XP did I get? How much XP did I get? I'm addicted to it. I love adding it up and passing it out and seeing if they go up a level. It's totally old school as far as I remember it as a kid doing it, and I'm doing it today. That's a lot of people do it based off of accomplishing different things in the story, which is fine. That seems to me even a better way, but I'm still addicted to XP, man. It's like, I'm just, so I just do it, and it works well for me. At least when I did Storm King's Thunder, it went totally well for me. But anyway, that's just my style. So once they get Irina, they're gonna come through here, and this is like, I got to make sure that the Vistani in the village of Barovia inform them of Madame Eva, in the Bastani Camp. So I got to make sure that they know about that, because I would think Ismark and Irina would want to avoid them and go all the way around here. I don't even know if they want to go there. Maybe they want to go through here, but it's dangerous, and I can't really take a carriage, so they might want to go over land just to avoid this. You know what I mean? Because I can't see Strahd not coming after them to get Irina. So I don't know. I'm literally, if he gets Irina, then what? Is that the end of the story? He finally gets his bride, and I don't know. I guess I haven't heard anyone say, like, the other guys. I haven't heard any of them talk about that issue, because he wants Irina. He's going to get her. If he does get her, then what? Is he happy? Anyway, I'll have to figure this out. Please comment below if you guys know of anything. I haven't thoroughly investigated the Reddit, which is obviously the best place probably to go to get all this info. And I know there's a Discord as well, but I don't know about the Irina thing. Like once she because I don't know if they're going to be able to protect her all the way to Vallaki. I mean, seriously. Although I think probably story wise, I have to let Strahd play with them some more or something, because once he catches her, what's the point of any of the rest of this? I don't know. It's kind of strange. I don't know. I don't recall reading anywhere in there, and I've studied it quite a bit. I don't recall reading what's the denouement of that. I mean, I must have missed something. I don't know. But he can obviously get her whenever he wants. So, maybe, Anyway, so I'm gonna have to address. Let me. You know what? I'm gonna pause this and see if there's anything I missed there, because I'm already with this map. It's helping me figure out the denouement, the unfolding of this adventure, and because of this map and me figuring out what the players may or may not do, I now have a question. So let me check that out real quick. Okay, so yeah, if Strahd, make sure I'm recording. If Strahd gets Irina, he just turns into a vampire spawn and puts her in a crypt. So I don't know. I got to think about that one. Anyway, so there's that. Okay, so I'm definitely going to make it more than that, but whatever, we'll see. Okay, so obviously Madame Eva, the cards, the tarot reading, them passing through here, man. They got to pass through here. Oh, there's the gate right there. Man, that's kind of weird. See? I didn't even see. I thought the gate was up here. Just based on... All right, I'm going to pause real quick and check that out. Okay, that's really weird. I didn't notice this other gate here. And that is not the gates of Ravenloft. That's just another gate like the gates of Barovia over here, which is kind of odd. And they kind of do the same thing, except they just don't let you. You can pass through them with harmlessly. That's kind of strange. I might add something there. I don't know. I don't want to add too much though because there's so much to do here. I might ignore it. I don't know. It's kind of strange. These gates of Barovia obviously is the entrance. Having another one here seems a little, underwhelming. So I may ignore that. And the gates of Ravenloft obviously are the main gates here in front of Ravenloft. So, and here's the interesting thing then. So the players at third, fourth, whatever going to be, is the Black Carriage or Strahd going to introduce himself or whatever. I definitely think, I definitely want them to encounter Strahd repeatedly and early on. So I might have Strahd toy with them and not take Arena yet. That allow for a chase or whatever, but definitely defeat them and then let them go, kind of thing. Even with Irina, or maybe she does something or says something that pauses him and he lets them go. I don't know. We'll have to figure that one out for sure. But that'll be fun. And why am I? Oh, yeah. Another thing I got to remember is the tale of the fall of the wizard here. About the Mad Mage, so I want to make sure one of the drunken Vistanis, tell the tale. Oh, and that's going to tie in with the vampire spawn here of the priest's son. So that's a tie-in there. I got to remember that. Another thing I want to add to this map too are the main NPCs. I'm going to do that next for the next video. But the main NPCs, I'm going to add those to this map so I know where they are, and I'm going to maybe point arrows or something to know what they're up to. What the crazy conspiracies are, because I kind of want to know what can affect what early on to later on. You know what I mean? Because you want that build up of just like with the fall of the wizard. You want that Mad Mage at the beginning of the story to help to come in later, because here's the wandering Mad Mage. He's up here somewhere, so I kind of want that Mordenkainen. I want Mordenkainen. I want that that and many other to be put into their head early on, so that so they encounter these people later. It'll be cool. So like I might tie in the House of the Dead cult. I might tie that in with Wachter over here, the woman that has her cult she's doing over here. And obviously what is they're worshiping, it's very vague on who they're worshiping. And then there are some other gods that the morning god of morning light, and then the mother of dead, those there's so there's some sort of other dark gods in here, or whatever weird gods that I could play up a little bit more, that they are affecting the story. Because even though this is in the Dread realm, and I know that, so it's all kind of controlled and shut in, I want to figure out a little more, interaction there. I haven't figured that out yet. But that's part of the NPCs and their movements on the map. So let's pass that right now and just go on to the basic stuff. So they're going to travel through here. They're going to have some sort of encounter with Strahd. Maybe they go to Ravenloft and do the first bit, with the piano and have dinner, and he talks to them. Maybe there's that. I don't know. That's a yowza. I don't know if I want to do that, man. I'm not that smart. Anyway, so as you can see, there's berserkers over here. So when I do random encounters too, well, I'll probably do random-ish, but I kind of want to favor a certain group based on the area, and to me, Strahd Spies is just it's sort of like that could be anywhere, because it's the bats, it's the wolves. I got to do some dire wolves. I have some old ones for goblins, but I really want to do some more gothic-y looking dire wolves and gothic-y looking wolves. I should probably do wolves first because they're low level, and then later on do dire wolves. And dire wolves should probably be a little more special encounters because they're bigger and tougher. Anyway, so berserkers are strange and interesting. I'm probably going to do a Barovian witch with them if I need it. They're obviously like tribal, hiding in the cold mountains. So they're going to be traveling along, and obviously I'm assuming get to Vallaki next. There's an old windmill here. See, they're going to see that windmill. So I think that first windmill is probably going to be just the daughters. They encounter the daughters. See, so on the map you can just see it's right there. So they're going to see the windmill, not the old bone grinder. Don't say that. Say windmill, and a couple of ladies living there and making their bakery, and their mother sells them at Vallaki. So you could say something like that. I do know that they're supposed to encounter them at Barovia. Yeah, I just feel like it's too far away. I feel like she would just go to Vallaki. It just seems too far away, even for magical witches. I don't know. Maybe not. That's a long journey. And maybe she's got something magical. She can fly there. But I don't know if I want to put it there or maybe put it in Vallaki. And I like them maybe seeing the daughters first and then the mom later. And then, getting some sort of hint to that. I'm just thinking in my mind right now about that. Okay, so Vallaki. So there's Vallaki then, and it's got the Burgermeister who does the parades. It's got Valchter, the woman who wants to take over, and her son. She's a little crazy but cultish. So there's that. That could be a whole battle, man. I could have a whole skirmish with that, with the Burgermeister, and he's got the tough guy, the gladiator dude. Plus town guards, and then she's got, I don't know what she's got. She's got the cult, maybe maybe a Barovian witch that's helping her. Her cult is very weak. She's just feigning it, so I may want to make it a little tougher. I don't know. Who else is in Vallaki? And the weird thing too about like getting gold in Strahd is there's nothing to buy. There's no one selling anything. So I don't even know about that. And so thusly, like in the village of Barovia is the one merchant. He's got overpriced stuff. Okay, there's that. In town of Vallaki, there's not really a whole mention of any shops or, you can't like go buy potions or anything. And the only people that can sell anything are the Vistani, and they're liars. So so I don't know. That's kind of, that one's tough. Like, how are they going to get stuff? Like anything, which is typical of a D&D is going and, getting your stuff. The one thing I think I'm going to do is the Blinsky toys. I think I'm going to, if they can figure this out, is have the Blinsky toys. He can make them into like, they can wind them up and then maybe have them go and check out an area like a trap or see if they set anything off or they could be a distraction. If you throw a Blinsky toy down, it can actually pause the enemy for one turn. Like they lose a turn, they're like a DC 12 save or something. I might have it so they can throw that down. Now, if the thing fails, like a werewolf, if it fails, it attacks the toy and destroys it, right? So they lose a turn, and then you get to, get a free attack on them. That's kind of cool. That's, and if they succeed, then they ignore the toy and they just keep fighting you. But you get to use it again, the toy, to try to do it again at some point if you survive that one. So I'm going to do something like that. So that the Blinsky toys are kind of, helpful in that sense. And you can carry like, 2 or 3 of them. And he sells them for 9 copper, or silver here. Yeah. Oh, wind up. See, 9 silver. So, yeah. So he has some wind up toys here, so he can use those. Now he's also making, the Blinsky guy is making toys for, the gladiator dude. So because Irina and him were brother and sister, long ago before they were lost and found. So that guy, that's an interesting little connect the dots in there. There's the Coven Maker. So there are the fights of vampire spawns there. Oh yeah, there's the church where they lost the bone, or whatever. So there's a couple little things going on in this, but again, there's no magical blacksmith. Oh, and there's of course the this is one. The Martikovs, the were-rats or were-ravens. I think that could be a good point where they could sell, like, buy things. Low-level magic, low-level stuff, silver weapons. I think the Martikovs should be hiding, because it says here that they follow adventurers and try to help them. Well, if the adventurers die, and I think they've obviously witnessed plenty of them dying, they could probably go there and grab their magic items and then take them and then, hide them in hope for another adventurer another day. So I might give them that ability to sell them, and I would say sell because they need to finance their, their were ravens and survival. So that might be a cool way to give them like some potions secretly. I was, obviously I start with the Vistani and them giving them stuff, but their stuff is like breakable or adverse, minor, but still like frustrating the players. Like they give them a +1 sword, oh yeah, it's very good, very good. Oh yes, 200 gold or whatever. But it breaks, at some point I'll make it break or something. I just got to remember to make it break. So the Martikovs and the Were Ravens, I think, will be a good source of low level magic stuff. And okay, so that's the Vallaki. So there, and then there's the Vistani Encampment outside of Vallaki. I didn't put that down there. I didn't put down the Vistani Encampments. Let me do that real quick. Well, this is the Vistani Encampment, and let me just copy this over here like that, and do another. Oh, and the Dusk Elves are there too, right? So Vistani and Dusk Elves. Yeah, so they have a camp, I think, right outside Vallaki with those guys, I believe. Where did I move? Let me put that somewhere over here. Right? I'm going to make sure. Just sorry if I'm seeing kind of... But yeah, the Bastani Camp is right outside. And that's got a lot of, plot points to... Not a lot, but, definitely some plot points. So with the Dusk Elf leader who wants to get his sister, who's at the Ravenloft. He needs to go to the Amber Temple. He needs to go to the Amber Temple to get the resurrection curse, to then, or raise the dead curse, to then raise her at Ravenloft. So there's that plot point. Yeah, the Vistani camp is outside, down here. Yep, kind of like down there somewhere. Down here in the woods. Okay, so there's that you got to think about. Revenants. So, if they come through here, the Revenants could come up, and the people are fearful of the Revenants. Also, the Vistani are looking for the daughter, and she's obviously up here at Lake Zarovich, being drowned. And I think the river, to me, this crossing, there's going to be a ghost that points them towards it if they don't already, so they can get that and save them, and the Vistani could then give them something. I think maybe if they save the girl and return her to the Vistani, then this Vistani will actually give them some low-level magic items that are actually that work. They'll sell them honest, low-level magic items. So that might be a cool little source if they can do that. And then, the Revenants are a part of Argenvostold, so they should be around this area, I think. And and if they die, they can take on another dead body. So they keep returning. Okay, so and then down here, obviously the Scarecrows and the ruins of Berez. Why people would want to go down here, I don't know, but I'll have to figure that out for sure. And it's up the river, and in this swampy area. And I'm definitely going to draw that map out because I love swamps. I'm doing my Kickstarter as a swamp, so I'm sure I'm going to doodle this one out for sure. Even though they have a decent map in there, but I'm going to probably do my own because I'm going to make it big, man. So the character's going to explore that map. Woo! That's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy drawing that map out. Let me tell you. I'll probably watch a lot of videos, or I have videos playing of people talking about the areas while I'm doodling. It's fun. It's a nice thing to do. So there's that. Now, obviously, Argensvastal and Ruins of Berez and Amber Temple are all pretty high level. So you may want to try to move them along this path first. Now, Ravens. The reason I have Ravens here is because of the Wizards of Wine, which is this thing. And this is the Wizards of Winery area. And of course, they're near Yesterhill, which is the Druids and the Blights. So this would be a fun mid-level siege. I love sieges. I'm going to draw out a bunch of Blights, and the little mobs. I'm going to use them like mobs. Instead of having 24 Blights, 2 Blights, I'm going to turn them into little mobs of 4 groups with 4 in it or whatever number. So they got to fight them like that. So I'm going to do that. Now, obviously, the Ravens are in this area predominantly. I don't know how I'm going to do the random encounters, but at some point I'm going to make it more story-based than just random. Though I might roll random just out of curiosity, but I'm gonna make it more story based than random. So yeah, the druids are down here, and they're pretty mid level, I guess. And there's the blights, and so the scarecrows over here. How do they even get over here? Because I know whatever her name is, the witch here, she creates these scarecrows, and maybe they go throughout. Yeah, this way. They go down this way and up to the here, and then I know she's communicating with the druids anyway, so go that way to do it. So I feel like, I know that the druids, when they attack the wizards of wine, or they already have, I feel like maybe they should have some scarecrows because she's trying to support them and influence them to go that way. So I don't know. Okay, the village of Grez and the abbey, which is right here, and this is interesting because the werewolf den is so close. So these guys must be ever fearful of the werewolves. I mean, because they're right there. I mean, for crying out loud. And I know they're an enclosed encampment and all. And the abbey is there, so maybe he kind of protects them as well from the werewolves. But yeah, and then the Van Richten's tower is right here too. So that's to me a little strange. I feel like the werewolves should be here in the middle, or somewhere else, because I feel like if they're here, they would constantly know about Van Richten's tower, and they would know about Kresk, and constantly and remember, werewolves are way tough, so I feel like that's a little strange to me. But I almost feel like the werewolves should be over here, maybe, because they can do town of Valaki and the village of Barovia, and they're kind of closer, and they are servants of Strahd, so I feel like they should be over in this area, and they have a nice area to hunt if they need to. Although this is not bad either, but I just feel that they're too close to these, and there's nothing in the story that says that they necessarily are always attacking them. But I don't know. It's kind of, I have to read up on that. I may change it. It doesn't really matter where you put it either, so I might move it because I don't like this story wise. It doesn't make sense to me. Because I feel like if they're here, they would have to constantly be harassing them, and again, I don't feel like these areas like Esmeralda or whatever her name is, the other hero, she's at the tower here. So she would be constantly in fear of werewolves. I feel like Van Richten's tower, to me, when I read it, was what I can remember, was more remote and safe. So I don't know. So okay, so let's go down to the higher level, Argan's Vostalt. So obviously you can see it up here on the mountain. So I'm thinking, once you get to here, you'll be able to see it. You can see that off in the distance on the horizon, a great ruined castle up on the mountainside there. So that's interesting. That should lure. And when they get here, they can obviously see the ruins of Berez. I don't remember exactly how people want to go to Berez. Let me look that up real quick, and I'm just kind of curious story wise. Okay, yeah. So I'm recording. Okay, so the way to get to the ruins of Berez is through the Wizards of Wines. He knows, the Were-Raven there knows the gemstones. The two that are missing are, because he used to have three. The two that are missing, Baba Lysaga took one, and she's in the swamps, so that'll be an epic fight. And the other one is at Yesterhill with the Druids. They created the Awakened Tree. So this is like two giant trees made by these gemstones. And maybe that should be made clear that the gemstones help the plants grow bigger and more healthy. And so he only has one left. And if they defeat the Druids there, then he's going to have to tell them about the gemstones that the Druids, and the Scarecrow took one, and Baba Lysaga is the one that makes the scarecrows, and she's in the ruins of Berez of the swamps. So that's definitely going to be two different quests right there after the Wizards of Wines battle. And those are going to be high level, man. So those are the giants in this thing. Okay, so in Argan Vostholt, obviously they can that one they can do whenever they want. That's obviously an interesting one to figure that one out. And I do like the lunchable guy, lunch break heroes. I mean, he said that the skull of the dragon is going to be at Baba Lysaga instead of a hill giant skull. So that's kind of cool. I'll probably draw that one out as that. I like that because having it over at Ravenloft is going to be really hard, and it story wise, that's what happens. They took his bones to Ravenloft, but maybe the skull was left behind or something, and Baba Lysaga took it or found it or something. So I kind of like that better, that it's there in Ruins of Berez. But story wise, it makes more sense it would be at Ravenloft. I might play it either way, but then again, if it's Ravenloft, it's gonna be hard to bring it to Argen Vostholt and place it there. So I do like that it's at the that Baba Lysaga has it. So I'm gonna do that. That's a good idea. And the other now, so the final before Ravenloft, obviously, and hopefully, they've encountered Strahd a few times. Now, I just read too that in Vallaki, if they defend the church, protect the church from being destroyed, and get the bones back, and sort of settle the town peacefully, because otherwise, if they don't get the bones, the church gets burned and the Burgermeister gets killed, and then Wachter takes over or whatever. But either way, they're going to get protection by getting an invitation from Strahd to come have dinner at Ravenloft. So there's that point in the story where that could happen then, which I like. I like maybe it happening then, that they get formally invited, and maybe before that they encounter him once, on the trail, in a random way, but then definitely once through the invitation, and then another time later on as a warning, and I don't know if it's a battle or just a dire warning, And obviously, remember, his goal is to find a replacement for him. He never is going to find one, but for the beginning, he's hopeful that they're going to be powerful and successful and just as brutal as him. But of course, he's brutal because he had huge wars. That's the thing, though. He's brutal because he had huge wars and were successful, and it was bloody. But here, there's no way to have a huge war and be a general, and so he thinks they're going to be a general. But where are they going to be a general? There's no war. That's the messed up mindset he has. So they'll never lead an army to destroy and wipe out everything, so that he can then crown them king of this place, so he can leave. But his mind thinks early on that he can. And this is finally the people that will prove themselves, and one of them will become his replacement. But obviously, towards the end, he doesn't like what they're doing. They didn't do it the right way. He's going to start getting more demented. In the beginning, I'm definitely going to make him like a victim, do you not think, I am a prisoner here? Do you not think I am suffering? I've been imprisoned here for hundreds of years, that kind of thing. So I'm going to have him be more like that in the beginning. Anyway, as they get to Solenka Pass and then go to the Amber Temple, because they'll start learning more about his ancient powers and where they came from, where they think they could, discover how he was created or whatever. That'll be the finale before the finale, obviously. Now, the Werewolf Den, by the way, that can be anywhere in the high-level areas. The Wandering May and Mad Mage, I don't know how they're going to encounter the Mad Mage. Unless they do it with what's her name. You know what I mean? It's got to be like that. There's no reason for them to be up in this area. So I think I'm going to have to maybe have them encounter her or the Mad Mage when they're rescuing the girl from the lake. Somewhere in that, they see a person wandering on that shore or something. It's going to be something like that. The Werewolf Den is, I don't know when they're going to encounter them as far as would they want to or not. Seeing that it's placed up here, I feel like it should be placed over here. It's really bugging me, but I'll figure that out later. I'm going to pass that right now. So obviously they're going to go to the Amber Temple. The Solenka Pass is the one that I don't like. The rock. The rock to me seems kind of out of place. I like the goat. The goat trying to knock him off the cliffside. I definitely want to make that another cliffside map where they could be knocked off. I want to do some flying creature, but I don't think it's going to be the rock. I think maybe like a wyvern, not a dragon, not an intelligent dragon, but some kind of wyvern or some kind of a. I guess if they're going to be that high level, you need something pretty powerful, but I don't know. I have to think about that. The rock to me just is not interesting enough. But whatever, I'll figure it out later. Anyway, so that's my rundown of how I, as a DM, place all this out, kind of figure out where they're going to be going. And remember, I haven't DM'd this yet, so I don't really know. I mean, I have enough experience to know what could probably going to happen, but I want to, I need to know all this the different areas and what is tugging at what. So this is a way. This is one way of doing that for So it's sort of like advice to you, but this is kind of how I'm doing. So that's my video on that. I hope this was helpful. Again, this was not meant to be accurate as much as just a DM processing as much information as he can to try to figure out where everything is. And I'm sure I didn't get everything right as far as the story, but that's what you have to do. You have to process the information and lay it out for yourself for something this big, and figure out what you want to do to really add a lot of depth to the storyline and the folding of the story from beginning to end, and that it all kind of does that, works together. Okay, so that's just. I hope this was helpful. I hope I wasn't too confusing. And I'm gonna add. Okay, I'm done with that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you something else here at the end. Here's some maps that I've created. Let me start off here. This is my Tavern Map, and this is where they'll be starting their adventure. I haven't put in I'm creating some Vistani today, and I'll put them in here, and maybe a bartender, and they're gonna talk to them or discover them, and then maybe follow them or whatever. It's 2 paladins. I'm gonna have them be part of the Order of the Gauntlet, and then the bard, and then the drow rogue. I don't know how I'm gonna tie them all together exactly, but we'll figure it out. It's a family, so hopefully that'll be fun for them to figure out what's going on. And this is the village, I think this tavern is going to be like in like Daggerford, or one of those big places. And then and by the way, I make these maps too. They're very accurate. They're 70 pixels, so they're not very big, which is cool, but they look great even close up. I mean, I'm a doodler, so. But even if you go pretty close up, it's a little blurry, but it's perfect. It looks to me like a cool comic book. Well, not cool comic book, goofy comic book. But they're 70. Why am I doing that? They're 70 pixels, so they're perfect for. They're already 70 pixels, and this is their inches, and then this is their. I don't know why it says pixels here. This is 34 inches by 23 inches, and this is the pixel size or whatever, the resolution. So I make my maps fit perfectly with this. So when you plug in the inches or or this number, it comes out to exactly what it needs to. Not that the scale is perfect because I doodle it, but anyway. So here's a map I did for a forest road as they begin their adventure. This is probably where I'll have them, at low level, have them encounter some wolves, and I'm going to do some creepy sounds. Oh, let me do some of my music real quick. Actually, hear this. I haven't done a tavern music, which I think I need to do, but this is the travel music. And I have 2 maps on here. I have the forest plus this mist. And if I go into the map layer, I got the mist. I can move it along with them, So I'm going to do that. Let me zoom out a little bit. And so that when they travel, that I'll move the mist along with them. And they also have lighting. I did the dynamic lighting for it as well. So they'll see this. And I'm gonna add in some sound effects of crows and wolves howling. So this should be fun. And again, the maps are 70 pixels. I wouldn't mind even making a bigger map since now I've just the pixels are 70 pixels and the maps are not very big. They're really small. These maps, they're like a few megabytes or something, or whatever. So I'll probably make an even bigger map. I mean, shoot, why not? Yeah, it's 42 by 24. I'm gonna make it like 60 by 40, or maybe even bigger. I don't know. But it's very manageable. It works well in Chrome. In Chrome, I use Brave. I have another one, but Chrome definitely works the best as far as running the maps. And I'm going to be using this mist over and over and over, for all the different maps I use. It's a big file. I mean, it's a small file, but it's a big image. Ew. So there's that. So yeah, that's how I'm starting off. And these are all going to be on my website. If you want to become a member, a patron. I'm not using Patreon. I'm using my own on Wix. You can do a patron type thing there as well. It's $3 a month, and I provide all this stuff for you if you want to use it, including the music. Anyway, so I hope this has been helpful for you, and appreciate you watching. All right, thanks. How do I stop this?